I'm Peter LaFrance for BeerBasics.com, and welcome to a special edition of Tasting Notes from the back of the fridge. First of all, as you'll note, I'm using a wine glass to do a beer tasting, because I have this particular style of glass for all of the beers that we use and that we try here for tasting notes, so that the glass itself, the size of the glass, the shape of the glass, doesn't affect the aroma or the flavors of the beers. A while ago, the folks at Harpoon Brewery sent me this can of Hoppy Adventure Double IPA, brewed in Boston, Massachusetts and Windsor, Vermont, by the Mass Bay Brewing Company. Let's look at the best by date, and it says enjoy by February 15th, 2017. Now, all right, I'll give it to you that this little fella, is 1 year and 7 months past his prime date. However, with an alcohol by volume coming in at 7.8 and the international bittering units at 58, I would say he's had a good chance of survival, especially since he was in the back of the fridge where it was nice and cold. Shall we begin? There's a copper color to this, as you can see. It's slightly hazy, but it's also a little bit cold. So we'll have to not take too many points away from that. It's a very light beaded carbonation. The head is incredibly well put together. It is just slightly tan, and it has a nice rocky head comprised of very, very small bubbles, nice, thick, and rich. The first aroma is definitely of a hop. If you're familiar with hops, it's a more spicy type of a hop. The second visit maintains the same amount of hop aroma. The first sip. There is a richness of flavor, a nice sweet maltiness that is underneath a hop tang that is not quite citric, but not quite peppery. It kind of hovers right between a citric and pepper. It's a nice cleansing sensation. The second sip finds almost a slight touch of orange, and when I say orange, it is probably the bitterness that you would have from a zest of orange, but it's not quite orange. It's still, I'm pretty sure, the type of hop that they used. And that's Harpoon Hoppy Adventures Double IPA, 1 year and 7 months past. It's enjoy by date. However, it stands up quite nicely. I'm Peter LaFrance for BeerBasics.com, and this has been Tasting Notes. I'm Peter LaFrance for BeerBasics.com, and this is Meeting Expectations. We've got Harpoon's Hoppy Adventure Double IPA. As you can see, it is a copper-colored beer. It has a very tightly knit head of tiny bubbles. The carbonation is very tiny, but it is certainly there and effervescent and rising from the bottom of the glass. A quick look at the can. Definitely, it's got a green tint, to a green color to it. So there's the green, the color of hops. Hoppy Adventure is quite prominent on there. Kind of in a yellow. That kind of blends in. You have to read a little bit there to get to the double IPA. However, immediately right here on the front, it says that it's Boston, Massachusetts, and Windsor, Vermont. And on the other side, exactly a mirror image, it says 7.8% alcohol and 59 bittering units. So this is a relatively high alcohol beer and quite high in the bittering units as well. So despite being a year and 7 months past its prime date, I have no doubt that this is going to be a hoppy experience, but I'm not too sure about what would happen to the malt flavors. Well, let's find out. Oh, it certainly has a hop aromatic to it. It's not a citric hop. It's more of a peppery type of an aroma. My word, there is a really tightly knit tasting sensation of an almost caramel flavor to the malt, and a sharp tang, not unlike the zest, the bitter zest of a Seville orange. It has that bitterness to it. It's not quite. It's a little beyond orange. It's bitter orange, and that's pretty much what I've got on this. So the fact is, after a year and over a year and a half of sitting in the back of the fridge, Hoppy Adventures still stands up. So yes, a year and 7 months old, this can of Hoppy Adventure Double IPA certainly does meet expectations. I'm Peter.lafrance for BeerBasics.com, hoping all your beers meet expectations. I'm back to remind you that if you liked this video, please click on the thumbs up icon below. And while you're at it, subscribe, and you will learn the next video goes hot just as soon as it does. I appreciate each and every subscription. I'm Peter.lafrance.